on, Mary. Come on up. Out you go. Out you go. Okay. Red, how are you doing? Can't really go much higher before it goes. And that's like maybe a couple more books. Please don't fall. Please do not fall. I don't think it's gonna fall. It might fall. Just give me a sec. And I hope that will work. It should. And it's not gonna, it's gonna be completely buggy now, isn't it? Because I saw it glitch out. Are you gonna work YouTube? Probably. I don't know. So. Caleb, how are you doing? I'm not doing too bad. Probably put the music on. Yeah, that's fine. Right. I was in the middle of building the reading and writing room for your Titanic when I got the last. Oh, cool. Sorry if I interrupted things. Alright. I managed to find some deck plans of the Carpathia. So I'm remastering the Carpathia, and then after her I'm gonna do the Californian. Granted, this isn't a great transfer from deck plan to Minecraft, but it's the best I can do in one-to-one. I'm going to just do the all in diamond. Can't wait for the little stairs and slabs. Don't like Carpathia, but the USS Alfred got more attention. I've never even heard of the Alfred, so I guess that shows what I know. You'd think the Carpathia would get more attention, but no, sometimes not. Sorry if you hear a noise in the background, by the way, it's just my fan. It's the middle of summer right now. I'm not turning my fan off. I'm also not too hyped about the way the bow curve has been built here. Yeah, it doesn't look good. But I'll make sure to build it first instead of just judging it by the cover, I suppose. He is calling me. I tried going to town today with a fully scooter battery and the thing dropped from 5 to 2 bars in less than half an hour. Jeez. Yeah, I do not like how this bell curve is working out at all. It's way too shallow. If it comes to it, I'm just going to build my own bow, and I'm just going to completely disregard the deck plans. Because, yeah. Usually the deck plans work out to make a pretty good bow curve, but these ones aren't doing so well. Orloff done, okay. I have a quick question for anyone who can answer this. What was in Titanic's forepeak? Like, what did they put in there? Was it just an empty compartment, or, like, did they have any space to put anything in there? What was in her forward collision compartment? Because I really want to know, and I've never known this for any ship, really. At a bow... Oh, okay, that's what it's used for. Yeah, I might have to just disregard the deck plans. Because it's not looking good. I'll try and finish the one side. The stern, I think, is still good to use, though. I think the stern is... the deck plans translated the stern pretty well. Access the chain locker because they were still... Okay. Yeah, you know what? No, I'll finish it. I have this. Okay. Shicky, how are you doing? New Martini. Yeah, ships like the Martini are usually not great to do notes. Excuse me. Data, how are you doing? Yeah, go ahead, Data. It's what the tutorials are for. No, you're good, Chicky. Yeah, I might have to just abandon this, the bell curve. Yeah, screw it. Goodbye. I didn't even make the beam, God. I am not building this ship correctly. Jeez. Might even like try and do that. Yes, I am using deck plans. The stern, I think, translated pretty good. But the bow, not so much. That's why I like building the stern more than the bow. I'm just not even going to follow deck plans for the bow. Screw that. Unfortunately, the deck planes are, like, really hard to follow as well, which doesn't help. It doesn't quite translate into one-to-one correctly, but I'm using them anyway. I don't even remember what this was supposed to be like. No, it's like that. I mean, it doesn't matter, I'm removing this anyways. Did you see that cardboard model? Yeah, I shout out it that, I mean, I say shout out, I just kind of, because I know he's a much bigger channel than me. When I was started to do a couple months ago a thing every week where I would just shout out a video on my community posts. I don't do that anymore, but I want to do it again. And one of the videos was him building Scotland Road that I shouted out. I think the other ones were The Race to Save the Titanic. I don't remember who that was by, but it was a really well-made video. And the new real-time syncing made by the Steam and Splendor network. But I plan to start doing that again, probably after I'm done with the American elections. Maybe even before that. Speaking of which, I wonder who's winning the American election. Let's see, Thomas Jefferson or Alexander Hamilton? Yeah. Thomas Jefferson. Okay. Alright. Move this. Or move the other side too. This is, I really need to scale up my ships. But then I know I'll lose motivation if I do. Are you doing Queen Mary again for the 5,000th time? I don't know why I bought her. But I've just kind of put my Queen Mary on hold. It's not canceled. I'm sure I'll start it up again, especially since I've completed the haul, I'm pretty sure. So yeah. I don't usually do ocean liners because I always try to add them to it. Okay, yeah, that's fair. It would be a cool live stream if you made a flat world where you build random ship interior. I'm planning on bringing liner living back, so that's kind of what the definition of liner living is, my series. I'm planning on bringing it back. Just be patient. I didn't know the Queen Elizabeth superstructure was easy to build. It's bigger than the Queen Mary, isn't it? And you would think it would be harder too, since we still have the Queen Mary. Also, guys, if you read the title, I'm hoping this could be like a Q&A sort of thing as well. if you want to ask me some questions. QE has an Aquitania style superstructure, which I'm used to building. Okay. Alright, no more deck plans. We're just going off of me. Let's see if I remember how to build these things. I probably don't. In fact, I should probably build with the connecting blocks, too. Whoops. It's not what I want to do. First question, what was the fastest time you built a ship that wasn't your own? I don't really build ships that aren't my own. I don't build many other tutorials. Probably the Rich Bruce's Titanic. The 2018 version. I have a video up on my channel of me showcasing it. And I'm planning to bring that series back as well. Planning to bring a lot of things back that I kind of stopped. But I built that in like 3 days. Granted, I had commands and such, but I like how it turned out. Granted, again, it's not my ship, but... Yes, I am planning on bringing a lot of things back. So I'll increase the length of that by a couple blocks. The same thing I'm doing right now. Okay, nice. I want to bring a lot of my old, not a lot, but a couple of my old series back. I don't know what the plural of series is, to be honest. Liner Living, for one. MCLA, Midnight Club LA. I've only made 2 episodes of the reboot so far, and the second one flopped, so I don't know if I should keep doing it in Midnight Club LA or not. We'll see. I'm not even gonna, apart from this time, probably even bring up the topic of bringing back the country quiz videos. I did a video where I did a quiz on Canadian history, and then a year later I did one on US history, and both videos absolutely bombed, so... That, and there's not really a reason for me to make them apart from just goofing around, so may as well not even bring them back. I think like 1 person showed up to the premiere. I could be wrong. Maybe a few people showed up. I'm not sure. I premiered both videos. I'm pretty sure. I premiere pretty much everything that isn't like the second or more episode of a series or a build showcase or a tutorial. Well, I mean, I'll premiere part 1 of a tutorial, but that's it. Yeah, it has a bit of a shear. Once again, I promise I went off deck plans. You're gonna hate yourself when it comes to do the superstructure. Why? Superstructure is easy, isn't it? It's only the Carpathia. It's not like Queen Mary or anything. I still think this is too shallow. It looks like a nightmare. The only problem I think I'd have is with the lifeboats. But, I mean, that's probably me being naive. I guess I could keep doing this bow curve and see how it looks out. Turns out. Shears scare me because they look good, but if you mess it up, the whole... Yeah, really though. I think I've kind of gotten used to shears. I initially refused to build shears just because it was one-to-one model. And then I kind of tried them out on the, I did like a one-block shear on the bow on a couple of my older builds, and it looked horrible. I stopped doing it. And then I started doing... The first ship I did a real shear on was the St. Louis. And it didn't look too bad, so I tried it out on a couple other ships, and it got less and less scary, and now I use shears all the time. I'm still terrified of doing Normandy, though. Because first off, it's huge, and second off, if I get the bow wrong, that's it. The whole thing is probably screwed. You either get with the Carpathia here, there's some leeway. I'm not even following deck plans for the bow, but like with the Normandy, you either get the bow right or you get the bow wrong. There isn't an in-between. And that's what really scares me, because I can't even see the whole bow on the Queen Mary, because it's so big, my render distance is too low. I can't even see the whole thing from a good distance. What am I going to do with the Normandy? How am I going to tell if it's good or not? Because I'm not doing it on mobile either. And render distance-wise, mobile probably isn't much better. Yeah, I try not to make anything bigger than the Titanic, or the Mauritania, really. I rarely do, like, Olympic-class liners. I haven't done a cruise ship on this channel. So I wonder if I try and, like, make that really pointy. And I am on a brand new tutorial world, by the way. So there's that. I'm on the 9th tutorial world now. Oh, this should be up here. I'm on number 9. J-ships ever considering doing Project Britannica with one of your ships for a fun, maybe Halloween series? Not really. 9. 9. Doesn't look great. I'm gonna try and make that a little bit more, sharp. Whoops. I could also do that. Two and 3. Maybe use the bow of Athenia. I kind of want this to be kind of original. Like, I don't want to just reuse the bows of my good ships, because then that's kind of lazy. This is why you only build one side at a time, people. You don't ever build both sides at once when you're doing something like this. It's a mistake. And preferably, if it's a black hull, do it in diamond. Or at least some sort of block that's not dark and hard to see. What does that look like? That looks much better. It's not the greatest bow in the world, but I'm not looking for perfection. I don't even remember what Athenia's bow looks like, to be honest. And for this, I think I can kind of get away with doing 2, and then 3, and then 2, 2, and 3. And whenever I tried manually do something on the other side, only to realize it doesn't line up. Well, you know the Mauritania model that I have? It was originally supposed to be the Lusitania, and I still have the corpse of the Lusitania model in one of my worlds. Yeah, I messed up. Horribly. I've still only ever built one Lusitania class liner. Only once. Ever in my life, without messing up something. Even the Aquitania I messed up during the tutorial, I'm pretty sure. And that tutorial was cancelled. I said I would release the Aquitania tutorial, like the first couple parts of it, just as a random ship tutorial, just random ship, for my channel's 3-year anniversary, and then I just didn't. So I guess now I have to wait for 4 years in 2027. Oh, that doesn't look as good now. Oh, is there a way that... No, it's all coming down to this, I think, so... I'm gonna make that sharp. How is Carpathia being a nightmare? Yeah, really though. Actually, from here, it doesn't look too bad. Oh, that looks much better. Alright, that's the hull I'm using, I think. That's the hull I'm using. Zizzy, how are you doing? I'm thinking about just getting rid of the deck plans for the turn, too. We'll see. Do you usually start outlining the ship first and then build the bow? I try to, yeah. I mean, if you mean, like, just do the prow and then the deck and then the outline of the top, then yeah, I do. Always. That's how I've always done it for YouTube. To varying degrees of quality. Just usually build the dimensions first and then do the floor marker. I'm using paint.net now for ships that have deck plans, but for ships that don't have deck plans, I guess I'd just do my old way. Paint.net is essentially just a different version of Microsoft Paint, I want to say. And I just pixelize the deck plans to the length of the ship in Minecraft. Like, Carpathia is 170 meters long, so I just made the deck plans on Paint.net 170 pixels wide, so that it would match up to Minecraft. I'm thinking this world might be might be made up of ships that were involved in the Titanic disaster. Because I'm fairly certain I want my next ship to be the Californian, right about there. And then after that, I've already done the Montrose. Was the Montrose involved? I can't remember if the Montrose was involved. The Mount Temple, maybe. And then after that, I don't know, we'll see. No, the Montrose was involved in her own little accident in 1910, I think. She's carrying a murderer across the sea, and her captain, who I believe was the same captain. The Montrose, that ship I have built a year or so ago, in 1910 was carrying a murderer across the sea, and the captain figured it out. Which was, might I add, the same captain who was captaining the Empress of Ireland when she sank. Captain Henry Thomas Kendall, or Thomas Henry Kendall, I can't remember. Something Kendall. Can't remember what his name is. It's either Henry or it's Thomas, I don't know. I think one of them is his middle name. Henry Thomas Kendall. Captain, now I need to know. Empress of Ireland. Henry George Kendall. Oh, the Mackie Bennett, yeah. Mackie Bennett existed too, didn't she? Mackie Bennett's gonna be a little hard to do, though. Especially in 1-to-1. It's not gonna be easy. For the most part. She has rudders on both ends of her, doesn't she? Like, she has a rudder on her fantail and one on her prow. Like, that's weird. Yes, it helped with turning, but that's weird. And that's a ship built in, like, the 1860s as well. The Mackie Bennett, I'm pretty sure. CS Mackie Bennett. She seems like not that old of a ship, but she was built in the 1860s. I'm pretty sure she was. Oh no, she was built in the 1880s. Sorry, I'm being idiotic. She was built in the 1880s. I thought she was built in the 1860s. Like, I thought she was older than the White Star Line. One of them weren't they? What about the Minia? CS Minia. Yeah, the Minia is the one I'm thinking of. The Minia was built in 1866. That's what I'm thinking of. I was planning on finishing one of my ships by the end of June, but I didn't get it done, so now my goal is to get it done by the end of June. Okay. I was thinking of doing one of the United States Lines ships. Not the America and not the United States. Because those are just too big for me right now. Because, you know, it's America's 250th tomorrow. So, I figured why not. But, you know, I settled up with a British ship like I usually do. And I'm not even British, I'm Canadian. But yeah, I think it'll be nice to have California and Carpathia right next to each other. SS Baltimore, the unbuilt 4-funnel ship. No. Not right now. I'm pretty sure I have that on my list. I remember people asking me to build that. I will probably build it eventually, but not in the near future. Because I have the Canberra and I have the Queen Mary on my hands that I've kind of paused for a minute. God, I still have to do the Canberra. Why did I make that promise? And I made the promise that I would do Oasis of the Seas, Icon of the Seas at 2000. Like, what is wrong with me? And how big of an idiot am I? I don't want to build the Icon of the Seas. QE2 what? QE2 is, I predict her to be finished on December 27th, 2027. That's my prediction. I don't know. I know, I just said. You know what tomorrow will also be? Tomorrow will be the 200th anniversary of two United States presidents dying on the same exact day. John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. Second and third presidents. The first and second vice presidents. I kind of want to help you. There's no way for you to help me. Unfortunately. Are there any deck plans of Icon of the Seas? MS Icon of the Seas deck plans. Like, surely there must be. It's a brand new ship. Yeah, there are deck plans, okay. I figured there would be. It's a brand new ship. Even though her third sister ship is, or I guess second sister ship is coming into service very soon. When's the Legend of the Seas premiering? The new Legend of the Seas is supposed to have her maiden voyage this month. I don't know. She's gonna do a Mediterranean cruise by the looks of it, and then she's gonna do a 13-night-long transatlantic cruise sometime this summer, so I have no clue when that is. I feel bad for the people who already bought their tickets. They don't know when they're going. Oops. Either way, it's gonna be a while, until I get 2,000, I'm sure. It'll be a while. It took me 3 years to get to 1,000. So. Usually don't like the 100,000 first times. Yeah, icon is a little bit bigger than that. Just a little bit. Not a whole lot, just by a mere couple 100,000 tons. Not a whole lot bigger. I feel like you're... No, I am not the next Rich LaRousse. I do not have the dedication that he did, or even does still, because he's still doing stuff. I do not have that kind of dedication. But I appreciate the comment. Oh, the glares come on the TV now. That sucks. The curtain shut? Yeah, so there's not really anything I can do. The good old days when I used to put out like a tutorial every single month pretty much. I had 6 or 7, maybe 8 tutorials out in 2023, and then I went down to like, what was it in 2024? It was like 4 in 2024. No, not even. There was 3 in 2024, and then only 1 in 2025, and I haven't even done one yet this year. So I'm thinking this might be the next tutorial. We'll see, I don't know. Again, I've kind of not even tried to worry about tutorials anymore because they take too much out of me now. Because my ships are becoming more and more detailed. It's getting harder. The more and more time passes, the more and more detailed my ships get, but the less and less time I actually have to record. So, yeah, that's a problem. Hoping on recording another Tiny Sailor's World episode today. I'm also thinking of, this is partly inspired by Komodo Gaming and Beautiful OB on their American Truck Simulator series, where they kind of read out questions in their comments while they drive. I'm thinking about doing a series on TSW, on Tiny Sailor's World, where I read out some of your questions for me while I just sail the ship instead of jump cutting the whole voyage pretty much. So, what do you guys think of that? Is anyone still here? The Kielaro, isn't that the ship that was hijacked? I don't know anything about its story, pretty much. But I do know it was hijacked. I'm pretty sure that was the ship. Off the street, okay. No, I don't know anything about it sinking. Diddly squat. Found a shipbuilding community on PMC, and they build massive scaled ocean liners and cruise ships. Wish I had that dedication. Oh God. Big yawn. Californian, yes. Just torpedoed. They tried to save her and they couldn't. I wouldn't do ship tutorials because there's a lot of people that want to copy the ship, and I don't want that. I don't think I've had anyone who's just point blank copied my ships without permission. I don't think I have. I mean, if so, then I'm not aware of it. But that's a fair fear. And like in my case, if something like that does happen, then I'll probably just say, "Can you give credit?" And if they just don't respond, well, if there's nothing I can do, there's nothing I can do. But like, please give credit for my tutorials. Although I don't know why, but I think it's more so just because I'm a smaller creator. But it just absolutely warms my heart to see when people build my tutorials. Like, I love it. And all my tutorials are from on my older ships because I haven't like done any new tutorials in like well over a year, coming on to a year and a half, I think. Can't believe Athenia was a year and a half ago, jeez. But yeah. So none of my tutorials are really great, I would say, because they're all older ships, but. I hope they find the Californians, Rick. Sank in the Mediterranean, didn't it? So, like, they should be well preserved. Well, decently well preserved. Hashtag find the Californian. I am still persistent that there, even if it doesn't exist, I am still even if it doesn't exist right now anymore, I'm persistent that at some point there has existed Titanic launch video footage. Because you have video footage of the launch of the Olympic, of the Adriatic, I believe, of the Oceanic, and even of the Britannic, but you don't have any of the Titanic that we can find. Now, again, it's one thing if it was lost through time, but you can't convince me. There were hundreds of thousands of people in attendance that day when Titanic was launched. You can't convince me that none of them had a video camera. You just can't. That's something that I cannot be convinced on. It existed at some point, and I think it still does exist. Launch footage needs to be found. Hashtag find the launch footage. And I know people had normal cameras because we have photos of Titanic's launch. You'd think one of them, at the very least, would have a video camera. A moving picture camera. I remember that when the Adriatic was built, she was delayed multiple times and she was the only... Yeah, so, the Adriatic... She was a great ship, but in the end, at first she seemed kind of underwhelming because the first three ships all came in. The Celtic, the Cedric, and the Baltic all came in on time. They were very successful, and they were all the largest ship in the world. Well, by the time Adriatic came around, she had been delayed multiple times for multiple reasons. And when she was finally finished, she was not the largest ship in the world. She was beat out by not only one ship, she was beat out by not one, not two, but three ships. She was the fourth largest ship in the world. You had the Kaiser and August Victoria, you have the Lusitania, and then you have the Mauretania. Like, I think it was kind of depressing for White Star Line for the first three ships to all be largest in the world, and then when the fourth comes around, just like a couple years later, she's the fourth largest ship in the world. That's kind of depressing. I'm not gonna lie. Although Adriatic was the first ship in the world to have an inside swimming pool, so there's that. No, it wasn't the Titanic, and it wasn't the Olympic either. It was the Adriatic. And I think her pool looked nice. Lusitania and Mauretania did not come out. No, Adriatic came out. Adriatic was launched in 1906. But she had her maiden voyage after the Mauretania, I'm pretty sure. RMS Adriatic. She had her maiden voyage in 1907, I know that. Yeah, she had her maiden voyage on May 8th, 1907. The Lusitania had her maiden voyage on... Oh, well, sorry, I guess I'm wrong. She was the second largest ship in service. The Lusitania had her maiden voyage after the Adriatic. Just 3 months afterwards. But even still, like, at the end of her first season of service, she's the fourth largest ship in the world. But Lusitania, Mauretania, and Adriatic all did have their maiden voyages on the same year. Adriatic was launched the same day as the Mauretania. Like, that day, on September 20th, 1906, you were either in attendance at Swan Hunter, or at... Was it Swan Hunter or John Brown? I think it was John Brown, actually. No, it was Swan Hunter. You were either in attendance at Swan Hunter or Harlan and Wolf. Back City. Yes, the Berengaria. Wasn't she scrapped? I can't remember if she was sunk or scrapped. No, she was scrapped. 38, wasn't she? Yeah. If Britannic came out in late 1915, that's when she had her maiden hospital ship voyage. But, if she, had her maiden voyage at the same amount of time after her launch as the Olympic and Titanic, she actually would have entered service in late 1914, the same year she was launched. Yes, I am aware of the Imperator and the Berengaria. Technically, Berengaria was Cunard's first queen, named after the queen consort of Richard III. Does this look any good? I think so, yeah. It's gonna look better when it's not all diamond. I mean, Berengaria had her maiden voyage in 1913, technically, but as the Imperator, yeah, she had her maiden voyage as the Berengaria in 1921, I think. 1920, mate. No, it was 1920, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the Vaterland was such a magnificent ship, and the Americans ruined it, in my opinion. The Leviathan was an underwhelming ship that performed, I guess, I don't know if it performed good, but she was better as the German Imperator. Vaterland. She was better as the Vaterland, in my opinion. They also received the White Star also received the Columbus for reparation of the Oceanic. We named it Homeric, although Homeric was an underwhelming ship as well. It was a good ship. It was bigger than the Mauretania, but she did not keep up well with the Olympic and the... What was the other one? Majestic. Oh, the Aquilaro hasn't been found. I didn't see that message, sorry. I thought the Aquilaro just, like, grounded or something. Personally, I like their style of IA better than IC with the White Star Line. Cunard ships in general, in my opinion, were better than White Star. Although my favorite ship is still a White Star Liner. That's such a hard thing to explain that overall, I prefer the Cunard line, but my favorite ship is a White Star Liner. Closely followed by a Cunard Liner, might I add. The Queen Mary. I mean, I guess Queen Mary was also technically a White Star Liner in a way. So, there's that. The Neuronic, really. Really, apart from, in my opinion, apart from being the White Star Liner that famously just disappeared without a trace. Apart from that, I don't really think the Neuronic has an awful lot going for it. I'm still adamant that we have a picture somewheres of the Neuronic, though. We don't have any known pictures of the Neuronic. There's gotta be one, right? You would think. It's definitely not in the foreground, almost certainly. But, like, maybe just in the background. Maybe there is one, and it's known. We just don't know Neuronic is in the background. We just think it's the Bovik. Who knows? Maybe we don't even know what ship it is in the background, but it's really the Neuronic. Anything's possible. My favorite ship is the Olympic. From this little rough patch here, I think that's pretty good. There's not really a rough patch there. Why is that? Okay, that's good thing. If he was gonna build a cruise ship, I suggest starting with a smaller ship. Yeah. Now, knowing me, I'll probably just do Icon of... Knowing me, Icon of the Seas will be my first cruise ship. Because I don't want to build cruise ships, generally. This is not gonna be a good section. I mean, I guess it... Oh, yeah, it will be. The shear... Or the... draft... Or, what's it called? The beam. I have never heard of the Sea Diamond. Oh, wait, no, yes, I have. I've heard of it. I don't know anything about it. Isn't it one of those ferries that capsized? Didn't it, like, go full Costa Concordia mode or something? I see. Oops. What? Oh, yeah. How am I still getting used to these controls? I don't even need these controls anymore. I can go right back to the old ones. I have new controllers. But I won't, because I'm not gonna, because I don't want to try and get used to more new controls again. Even though they're not new controls, they're the default controls. So, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, a couple, like, 8 months ago, my controllers one of the buttons on it stopped working, and I had to reconfigure, like, every button. So the way I play Minecraft is not how you normally play Minecraft on a console. And now, even though I have new controllers, I just refuse to change them because I don't want to try and get used to them again. If I was going to build some ocean liners, I would build the Royal William and the Great Western. Well, I build 1-to-1, so those ships, in a way, are kind of too small for me. Alright, looks good. Fair. Kinda. Just gonna get a bottle of water, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. It's hot out. Let's know where this goes. Is that how that's supposed to be? No, it isn't. Derek, how are you doing? Is this the volume? Yes. Good, that's good. I tried to build my tutorials on Pocket Edition, but while it was more convenient, I just couldn't work up the motivation. And then I started doing them on PS3 again, and then I still couldn't work up the motivation. But if it helps, I still have a few parts of the Britannic tutorial finished and uploaded, so, you know. I should really probably finish that before I do anything else, but we'll see. Because newer and newer consoles came out, that's why. Over time, as the PS3 got discontinued and the Xbox 360, Minecraft discontinued them too. Because, you know, there's the PS4 and the PS5 now. And can you buy Minecraft on Steam? No, you can't. I was gonna say you can get Minecraft on Steam, but no, you can't. Although that would be dope. Probably cost more than a normal version, though, to be honest. Everything on Steam is like over $178. How is this done? Okay, this is confusing. So there's 3 and 3 on top. And then it's just rows of 2. Yeah. 2, 3, 4, and then I still haven't left the PS3 version just because it's home. I started Minecraft on PS3 back in 2020, in August of 2020, so it's going to be 6 years in about a month. I think it was in August. Might have been in July. So it's been about 6 years. And it's home. when I got Minecraft Pocket Edition, I spent a couple months playing that, and then I went back to PS3 and figured out, well, I just like PS3 better. While there's better blocks and better updates on the console, or on the whatchamacallit, the Pocket Edition, ultimately, PS3 is where I am at home. And that's gonna stay that way. That's not gonna change. I think this could go like a block forward, maybe. I'm gonna mess everything up just by doing that. Just watch. So that's 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. There we go. Minecraft version 360, PS3, Wii U, 3DS, Switch, Xbox One, PS4, PS3. It's too expensive and so I didn't get it. I picked a demo version of Xbox 360 Minecraft. Didn't know there was a demo version. Xbox 360 and PS3 were essentially the same exact version with different controllers, basically. Like, they were discontinued at the same time, they were updated at the same time. They were essentially the same version. Exact same tutorial world and everything. Everything's the same on it. Everything. Absolutely everything, to the last minute detail. It's just a carbon copy! I don't know which came first, Xbox 360 or PS3. Probably the Xbox, now that I think of it. Probably the Xbox, but still. Yeah, that's what I thought. Minecraft is like almost 18 years old now, isn't it? Or is it 17? When did it come out? 2008 or 9? 2009, I think. So it's like... What year is this? 26, so... 17 years old. That's bad that I forgot what year it was. No, you know what? I was writing down the date a couple of weeks ago on some paper, and I accidentally wrote 2027. That's bad. Welcome back, Red. Aurora 2, modernized version of Tyrannic 2. Okay. How do I make this, Californian is my next ship. I planned on building it like a year ago or something, 6 months ago maybe, but I didn't quite get to it. But Californian is going to be my next ship. I want this world to hopefully be a bunch of ships that were involved with Titanic. Say the Carpathia, the Californian, the Mount Temple. I might even redo one of the one of the Big Four class, because I know that's kind of a new model, but it's not a good model, so I might redo one of the Big Four class, like the Baltic, because the Baltic was always there for, like, every ship disaster. The Republic, the Titanic, I think at one point it rescued us, the survivors of a schooner. Like, Baltic was the best. I mean, Baltic wasn't there at Titanic, but it tried to be. She tried to be. I don't remember if it was farther than the Olympic or not. Probably not, but it was still pretty far. SS Baltic was also with the Titanic. Oh, you mean the RMS Baltic. Yeah. And then there's the Cedric that, the Cedric that Jay Bruce Ismay wanted to keep in New York to bring Titanic's crew home, and that didn't happen because Cedric had a schedule to keep. And then the Adriatic actually took some of the crew members, or some of the survivors home, some of the surviving passengers. Then the Lapland took, the Red Star liner Lapland was chartered out to take the crew back. So really, I think the Celtic is the only Big Four liner that wasn't involved in Titanic in any way, really. Although I could be wrong. Was Celtic involved at all? I still do not believe in the Titanic 2. It's not gonna come out next year. They can't build a ship in 1 year like that. They can't do it. It's not gonna come out next year. They're gonna say it's gonna come out in 2030 next year. Just watch. That's my prediction. I do not believe in the Titanic 2. I still do not. Taking a crack at SS Atlantic. Atlantic isn't that hard of a ship to build once you get used to the fact that it's an 1870s ocean liner. It's really not that hard to build, as long as you know what it looked like. It didn't have the, as far as I'm aware, it didn't have the, like, turtleback forecastle deck that you would usually see, like the curved forecastle deck. It didn't have that. It just kind of had a deck house, a small deck house there. Because those were all added to the Oceanic class, I'm pretty sure after Atlantic sank, so Atlantic never really got the chance to have one. What do you think about the Californian? Californian, I think, is kind of like, it's kind of soured upon just because it's the ship that quote-unquote ignored the Titanic. Californian is just a normal ship. It was a cattle carrier. It wasn't anything Titanic-like. It wasn't even anything Carpathia-like. It was a cattle carrier. It wasn't anything special. It was just a normal cargo ship that was on a voyage, and the crew was a bit incompetent. That's it. Californian, I like the Californian. I like most cattle carriers at the time just because they're so simple that they're good. And I don't know if that makes sense or not, but the cattle carriers at the time really are just so simple they're good. Neuronic, Bovic, Georgic, Californian. Cunard had a couple too, didn't they? Did they? No, I don't think they did, actually. They might have. Yeah. The Atlantic Transport Line had a few of them, I'm pretty sure. I love the name Hero of the Seas, just saying. Love it. And I also don't entirely blame the Californians crew. Yes, they're not innocent, they're not blameless, but Titanic's crew aren't blameless either. Technically, I'm pretty sure the way they set up the flares was incorrect. Like, it didn't mean a distress signal. I don't think it was the color, I think it was the interval, the time interval that, they set them in. Like, they set it every, 5 minutes or something, and I'm pretty sure a distress flare is, once every minute or something, I don't know. But, well, technically, yeah, Titanic's crew wasn't blameless. And Jack Phillips did tell the Californian to shut up. I mean, I understand why he did. He had been awake 36 hours and a massive ring come through his ears. I'd probably do that too, to be honest. But both are to blame, in my opinion. I don't feel like building Titanic 2 would be disrespectful. Like, it would be different of, building a replica of, the Twin Towers, because, that was very recent. There's still families with gaping holes in them because of those horrible attacks 25 years ago. But with Titanic, I feel like it's... Well, the thing is, it's not respectful, but I don't think it's really that disrespectful either, because, there aren't any survivors of Titanic. There's no one... The people who are... There are still people today who were alive when the Titanic sank, but they were 3, 2, 1 years old. 1 year old, 2 years old, 3 years old. The oldest person in the world right now was born in 1909, I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't count it as disrespectful. I would just think of it as, why? Why do it in the first place? It's kind of pointless to build an actual working ship for it. That's just my opinion, anyways. I would love a movie on the Arctic. Love it. There needs to be a movie on the Atlantic as well, because they haven't done that either. There needs to be one. There's just gotta be one in the future. I watched Lincoln 2012. I mean, I didn't watch all of it. I kind of lost focus, essentially. I wasn't, binge watching the movie. I was just kind of playing it in the background, but I watched it before. I still want to rewatch it again. But, I watched Lincoln 2012, and it was pretty good. I love it. That's a movie I love. Lincoln. Aquatania deserves a film. I feel like her film would be on her war service. Same with Olympic, because there's not really a lot. There's not a defining moment. There's no sinking. It'd probably be on... Aquatania would be a very good ship to make a movie on her war service, because she was in both world wars, wasn't she? Aquatania is a little bit more deserving in that respect. In that prospect. Aquitania had her maiden voyage just hours after the Empress of Ireland sank, I'm pretty sure. Like, literally, like, 6 hours later, I'm pretty sure. Maybe not even, because time zones. Aquitania had her maiden voyage, like, directly after Empress of Ireland. Believe it or not, no one actually canceled Aquitania's voyage who booked the ticket. So. Or no, it was the day after, wasn't it? It was the day after, sorry. My apologies, it was the day after Empress of Ireland sank. I thought her voyage was on the 29th, it's the 30th, I'm pretty sure. You know, the Icon class, no. I don't know what the Icon class is, it's, I don't know what the largest ships in the world are, to be honest. That's a joke, by the way. I know when the Icon class first came out, I'm like, what is this garbage? Because these ships look amazingly ugly. Like, it was, in my first opinion, they were so ugly that it was just amazing. And now my opinion is that the Icon class is so ugly that it looks better than the Oasis class. That's my opinion on it right now, on the Icon class ships. It's so ugly, it's good. Fading didn't sink, and we have another 4-funnel ship. Guess which one? The Windsor Castle? That sank. Windsor Castle. It didn't have a lot of 4-funneled ocean liners. Technically, I guess you could count the Great Eastern, because it had 5, but you know. I think a Britannic movie today would do decent because the growing hate of the 2000 movie, but there's also the chance that a new Britannic movie would be worse than the 2000 movie. I don't think the 2000 movie is... I mean, I haven't rewatched it, so this is just from memory. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not good. It's bad. It's bad. Like, it is bad. It's not a good movie. In any way, in any sense of the word. But I'm sure there would be... I'm sure it's not difficult to make a movie worse than Britannic 2000. When we talk about Disney's ships, I don't even... Last time I remember a few years ago, Disney only had like 4 ships, and now they have a fleet that's like the size of the White Star Line. I don't know all of Disney's ships. They just come into service whenever now. Like, a couple years ago, they had like 2 ships. And now they have like the entire White Star Line fleet. Like, what... How many ships do they even have? Like, really? What do you guys think of the hull? I think the hull looks pretty good, personally. Brand new Carpathia model. Looks pretty good. God, how much I wish I had pale oak. It's famous, makes a lot of money, and you can make a toy, which is basically a ship with 3/4, 3 out of 4 funnels, and say it's Titanic because your children. Yeah. I think I'll do all the details of the hull this stream. The rudder, the propellers. I'll try and do all the details of the hull. And maybe the deck, but I'll probably leave the deck off camera, to be honest. I hate how we don't have deck planes for most liners. Like, there's so many famous ocean liners, and you're telling me we don't have the deck plans for this one or that one. Like, it's annoying, especially when you're trying to build them in Minecraft. Carpathia didn't have a yellow sheer stripe, did she? I don't think so. Because I know some Cunard ships did. It wasn't Cunard tradition overall, but I know a couple of them did. I don't think Carpathia did.
Josh, that is so rude. Icon class not. Respect for all Caribbean class.
I mean, I'm allowed to have an opinion. If I think it's ugly, I'll say it's ugly. No offense, but... Not trying to be rude, but... If I think a ship is ugly, I'm gonna say I think it's ugly. Alright. I don't even have anything on Carpathia. Oh, yes I do. It's over here. I guess I can kind of put this up. Like this. How long would this have been? Be like 5 blocks long.
I think it'd make more sense if a love story revolved around a nurse and a wounded soldier and the sinking being sudden. Would be a great Britannic movie.
I mean, yeah, but there's also the fact that Britannic wasn't carrying any soldiers. She was on the carrying trip. She wasn't on the return trip. She was carrying purely crew members. 1,066 crew members, personnel, that's it. Nothing else. Oh, just give me a second, guys. I have to plug in my computer. Alright, we're back again. All of your tutorial ships,
I can't read that.
I'm sorry. I don't understand. Alrighty, let's get on. So it'll be roughly up here. Carpathia. I don't know. I'll probably just put the box at the end, really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Carpathia. Awesome, 9 letters. That's perfect. Exactly what I want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. Carpathia was, she was registered in Liverpool. I can't believe I had to check that. Try and get a picture of her stern, get it as accurate as possible. I know there is one. Yeah, here's one. Backsitchy. That's sick. It's my backsitchy. It's my chair. Alright. God dang it. There. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Liverpoo. Why is my back so itchy? It's annoying. I can't even remember how to do these propellers. Not for the life of me. So I'm just gonna click on my older videos. Which video do I want to click on now? Probably my 11-day special. Or was it my 2025 recap? Might have been that. No, I think it was this. Maybe? I think it might have been the 2025 recap. Yeah, here we go. There's a good one. All right. Oops. Propellers on my Carpathia. Oh, might spread them out more. Well, that's what this hole was for, though, wasn't it? I mean, yeah, that's fair. I think I'll just push them over one. Yeah, right here is fine, I think. Right in the middle, too. This should be there, right there. That's not right. What did I do wrong? Oh, it's down here. Like those blocks shouldn't be touching. Why are they? Why does that look so wrong? That shouldn't... What the heck? Oh, that's why. That still doesn't look good. Why? What am I doing wrong?
Now go back to work and propellers go.
Oh, that's what I did wrong. Wait a minute, no. I'm going to Campania. Or better yet, even probably, I don't know, the Germanic. No, not that world. I think the Germanic I used the same block, so it'll be a better example. The Olympic maybe as well. Let's try the Olympic. Yes. Alright. And... okay, so vote. Alright.
So I'm just gonna keep the screen paused on my
Stream. We are gonna go back to, what ship am I building? Carpathia. That's a lot of blocks. Alright. I'm gonna build this right this time. That's better. Yeah, that's what I want. If anything, I probably should have actually done... no, that's a good distance away. Alright. Rudder. Well, I might have built this, the fantail of the ship a bit shallow. Sorry guys, I was choking on water. I think that's just gonna about do it for me today, guys. I'll, this. Yeah, I think that's gonna just about do it. I was gonna do the hull plating, but I don't think I'll do that anymore. Stream's 2 hours long. First time I've done that in a while, I think. Could be wrong. Yeah, so I'll see you all in the next one. Hope you have a good day. Have a good one. See ya.